Denise Williams, and I'm excited to be helping you kick off your Black at Sony PlayStation Employee Resource Group. I am an identity researcher, writer, Black feminist, artist, activist, um, and leadership instructor. And one of the things that I am most passionate about is helping people become empowered simply by owning and stepping into who they are, who you really are. Um, I believe that we are all here to serve a purpose, and that each of us is here for a reason, and that when we play to our strengths and when we lean into the things that we are innately good at, we can't really lose, right? When you play your own game. So this week, well, actually, this whole month, we are going to be talking about different pieces of our Black identity. And I'm going to have a keynote in the middle of the month that will really dive deeply and help us start to thread together pieces of Black identity that can help us become more empowered, because we are Black history in the making. One day they will be reading about what our culture and our generation of Blackness is doing. And there are so many vitally important things happening within the world right now, that thinking about our Black identity and stopping and pausing to think about, what does our Black identity mean? How does it change? How do I define it right now? It's a really important question for us to really sit and think about. And so we'll have different prompts all week, or excuse me, we'll have different prompts all month long. And each week I'm going to be making a video to help lead us in a discussion about a piece of our Blackness. This week, it's about, what does it mean to be Black? And this is not a question that is static, right? This is a question that is very much dynamic. This is a question that we can answer today in one way and answer tomorrow in a completely different way, and a year from now another way, and so on and so forth. And the reason I think it is so important to begin with defining our Blackness and looking at how we see ourselves within Blackness is because I think that is, for many Black people, the one identity that is inescapable. There are many definitions that society and that culture have tried to ascribe to Blackness, right? And we are aware of some of the stereotypes of what it means to be Black as defined by other people. But this week is really a chance for you to think about, what does it mean to be Black for me? And I want you to think about this as often as you can, in as many places as you can. So, for example, what does it mean to be Black at home? What does your family look like? For me, growing up, my family was an interracial family. Being Black at home meant that out of the 5 of us, 2, my mother and myself, identified as Black. My dad identified as white. My 2 sisters are biracial. And so there were always varying perspectives when it came to how we saw the world and how the world saw us. And even within my own home, Blackness wasn't necessarily the same definition. I say that to say, think about what your own home looked like. Was everybody Black? Is everybody Black? What did it mean to be Black in your home? What does it mean to be Black in your home? For my mother and I to speak to intergenerational differences between Blackness, talk about the Black experience. She thinks that it is inner city and urban Black HB style marching bands and going to Spelman College and Morehouse School of Medicine that is a supreme Black experience. Whereas for me, my Black experience was being one of the only Black students in my science class up until my senior year of high school. It was either one or two of us. That was an experience that my mother never had. And so thinking about how the Black experience changes even within your own home, thinking about what the Black experience feels like in your workplace. What does it feel like to be Black in your professional identity, your professional space? Have you thought about what your Blackness can bring to the table? Have you ever considered that your Blackness is a values asset and it's a great thing to be Black and to show up Black at work? Or does your definition of Blackness see Blackness as a deficit? And do you feel like your Blackness has to be tucked away or hidden in your workplace environment? This is a time for us to ask rich questions. This is a time for us to begin to think about our experiences so that we can think about how to better align them with the kind of experience we deserve and that we want to have, not only in our workspaces, but within our lives. You owe it to yourself to be able to show up who you are, as you are, wherever you are. And so really thinking about who are you? And what do you bring to the table? What do you bring when you walk into the room? Not only what do people see you as, but what do you answer to? I think these are really good questions to start with, and I can't wait to have a more fruitful discussion with you this Thursday as we kick off Black History Month and the beginning of Black at Sony PlayStation. Again, I'm Dr. Jessica Janice Williams, and I look forward to engaging you. Questions like these, prompts like these, dialogues like this one, all month long.